What if I told you the most dangerous animal on this planet is not the lion, not the crocodile, not the great white shark, and it is so small you could kill it with a single clap? What if I told you this one creature has ended more human lives than every war, every famine, and every natural disaster in recorded history combined? And what if I told you that right now, at this exact moment, one of them may already be in the room with you? This is not a horror story. This is biology. And it is far more terrifying than fiction. A lion can kill a person. A shark can kill a person. A snake can kill a person. But there is one animal responsible for more human deaths than all of them combined. More than every predator that has ever stalked this earth. More than every war in recorded history. And right now, one may be hunting you. So how did a creature smaller than a paperclip become the most dangerous thing that has ever lived? That question has one answer, and it will change the way you see the world tonight. For thousands of years, humans built their fears around the obvious, the massive, the venomous, the things that moved in the dark with teeth and claws and size on their side. But while we were busy fearing monsters, evolution was quietly building something far more dangerous. Not bigger, smaller, a 2-milligram assassin, armed not with fangs or venom, but with something far more sophisticated. Biological weapons, refined over millions of years. Today, scientists estimate the single insect may have contributed to the deaths of nearly half of all humans who have ever lived on this planet. Half. But that number alone is not the most disturbing part. The most disturbing part is the question it forces you to ask. How? How does something so fragile, so small, so easily crushed between two fingers, become the deadliest animal in the history of life on Earth? The answer begins with a bite. The attack starts silently. A female mosquito drifts through the darkness. She is not searching for flesh, she is searching for blood. But before she can find it, she has to find you. And what scientists discovered about how she does that is genuinely unsettling. A mosquito can detect the carbon dioxide you exhale with every single breath. She can sense the heat radiating from your body. She can identify the specific chemical compounds released by your skin. To her, you are not invisible in the dark. You are glowing. A living beacon broadcasting your exact location into the night, whether you know it or not. But here is what makes it stranger. That tracking system, as remarkable as it is, was not even the most disturbing discovery. The real secret was hidden inside her mouth. Most people assume a mosquito has one needle, one simple piercing tool, in and out, barely noticeable. Scientists found something considerably worse. It has six. 6 microscopic tools, working in precise coordination like a biological machine engineered for a single purpose. Some cut through the outer layer of skin, others pull the tissue apart to create a path. One probes deeper, searching specifically for a blood vessel, and another injects saliva, a chemical designed to prevent clotting and keep the blood flowing freely. The whole process happens in seconds. By the time your skin registers the itch, the attack is already long over. But here is the thing, the blood is not even what she is really after. Blood is just the beginning. Because carried inside that bite, invisible, silent, and utterly lethal, may be something far more dangerous than the mosquito herself. For centuries, people had no framework to understand what was happening to them. They blamed bad air. They blamed curses. They blamed the wrath of gods and the work of evil spirits. Entire civilizations watched their people die from fevers that came in waves, and had absolutely no idea why. They had no idea the real killers were already inside the mosquitoes. Malaria, dengue, yellow fever, zika, microscopic passengers hitching a ride inside an insect that nobody thought to suspect. And these passengers changed everything. They transformed the mosquito from a nuisance into something far more sinister. A flying syringe, capable of injecting death into a human body without leaving a mark. Suddenly, a bite was not just a bite. It was a potential death sentence. But what happened next, nobody saw coming. For thousands of years, malaria carved through human populations with a consistency that is difficult to comprehend. Millions dead. Entire generations wiped out before they could grow old. Communities built around one brutal acceptance that this invisible thing would take people. And there was nothing to be done. But evolution does not sit still. Scientists made a discovery that changed everything we thought we understood. Certain human populations, living in regions where malaria had been killing people for generations, began developing genetic defenses against it. One of the most well-documented is the sickle cell trait, a genetic variation that, in a single copy, offered meaningful protection against the most severe forms of malaria. Think carefully about what that means. The mosquito was not just killing humans. It was rewriting us, reaching into the human genome itself, applying pressure, generation after generation, until our biology began to change in response. A 2-milligram insect became a force powerful enough to influence the trajectory of human evolution. But the story does not end there, because while humans were slowly adapting, mosquitoes were not standing still either. Imagine trying to locate one specific person inside an entire city. No map, no phone, no technology of any kind. Every single night, mosquitoes do something comparable. They combine scent detection, body heat sensing, humidity tracking, visual recognition, and chemical analysis, all processed inside a brain smaller than a grain of rice. A sensory system of staggering complexity, packed into something you could destroy without even trying. For a long time, scientists believed smell was the dominant sense, the primary weapon. They were wrong. Researchers have continued to uncover new layers to the mosquito's sensory toolkit, each discovery making these insects seem more frighteningly well-equipped than anyone had previously understood. For most of human history, we had no answer to any of it. That, finally, may be changing.
For thousands of years, the mosquito won, consistently, comprehensively. And now, for the first time, the balance of that war may be shifting.
Scientists are releasing sterile male mosquitoes into wild populations, a strategy designed to reduce breeding without chemical intervention. Others are using naturally occurring bacteria that block disease transmission inside the mosquito's own body. And at the furthest edge of current research, genetic technologies are being tested that could theoretically collapse entire mosquito populations in targeted regions. For the first time in the entire history of this conflict, humans may genuinely have the tools to win. But winning raises a question that nobody has a clean answer to. What actually happens if we succeed? Mosquitoes are among the most despised animals on the planet. The fantasy of a world without them is one most people would sign off on without a second thought. But ecosystems are not built around what we find convenient. Fish feed on mosquito larvae. Birds consume the adults. Countless food webs, in ways that are still not fully understood, depend on their presence. Removing the deadliest animal in human history could set off a cascade of consequences that nobody can fully predict. The war may finally be winnable. Whether it should be won is a question science alone cannot answer. So how did it happen? How did something this small accumulate a death toll this enormous? Not through strength, not through speed, not through any form of intelligence or intent, through partnership. Mosquitoes evolved into the perfect delivery system for some of the world's most lethal diseases. And in becoming that, they altered the course of civilisations, applied pressure to human genetics across generations, and claimed billions of lives, all without ever meaning to, all from a creature that weighs less than a single raindrop. The next time you hear that faint, familiar buzz drifting through the darkness of a quiet room, remember what you are listening to. The sound of the most successful killer evolution has ever produced. If this video made you look at that tiny mosquito differently, if it genuinely surprised you, unsettled you, or taught you something you did not know before, hit the like button. Subscribe to Darwin's Journal for more creatures that sound like fiction, but are completely, terrifyingly real. It takes 1 second, and it helps more people find this content.